Make 2020 your year. You could start your new life as an IT pro. Little as 4 months. Classes are live online. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. That's a great idea. Go to mycomputercareer.edu to be an IT person. That's a great idea. I should have thought of that. That's a great idea.
Yeah, I think you landed in the right career.
I did, but that's a way.
That is a good career to be in these days, yes.
Quick. I can go online, do it. So, here's the way it works in our business. Once somebody gets famous and popular, if you offer any criticism, you're a hater. I would vote Aaron Rodgers into the Hall of Fame first ballot. He's not one of my favorite 6 or 7 quarterbacks I've ever seen. I like Breeze better for a lot of leadership reasons, and I think leadership is huge. I think it's one of the reasons I like Deshaun Watson and Mahomes and Carson Wentz and Goff. I think they have the right temperament, but Aaron's great. But I would say I was the first national guy about 7, 8 years ago that offered criticism, that he was condescending. He could be moody. He had family members call him out. Sometimes he's aloof. So the pom-pom waivers, every time Aaron loses a big game, the pom-pom waivers come out. What about the defense? What about the defense? Let's revisit this. First of all, is it the defense's fault that Aaron Rodgers in 2 games against San Francisco didn't score a point? I mean, none? Is that the defense's fault? Aaron Rodgers did not play well in the first half. A couple of fumbles. He had a pick. He wasn't real self-aware in the pocket. I thought he was inaccurate even on swing passes. Something else. His numbers dropped this year with Mike McCarthy. Stop blaming Mike McCarthy. He took another shot at him yesterday. Stop blaming Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy's a better football coach than Matt LaFleur. Get over it. One of them's got a Super Bowl. One of them couldn't score points this year consistently in the third quarter. Here's another thing. Aaron's not a very good road quarterback. He's not. He's 500. And he's bad as a road quarterback in the playoffs. Amongst his contemporaries, Tony Romo, Breeze, Russell Wilson, Brady, Manning, Ben, he's easily got the worst road record. He's got a worse road record percentage than Matt Ryan. And Matt Ryan's numbers don't fall off a cliff like Aaron's can on the road. I'll get to that in a second. Here's another thing. Of the 12 playoff teams, only Buffalo, with Josh Allen, had more 3-and-outs this year. Aaron doesn't help his defense at times because Aaron, as a GM once told me, he's Jay Cutler with much more talent. He's moody. He can be condescending. He's not liked by all teammates. We've had multiple call him out. He can be thin-skinned. He can be defensive. He can be aloof. Here's another thing. Aaron bails. He bails on coaches. He bailed on McCarthy last year. He bails on plays. He led the NFL in throwaways last year. He just bails on stuff. I quit. He quit on McCarthy. He quits on plays. He's quit on teammates. He won't throw to anybody on this team, not named Jimmy Graham or Devontae Adams. That's why only Buffalo of the 12 playoff teams had more 3-and-outs. Aaron bails on people, coaches, assistants, plays, teammates that he doesn't like. You can't do that if you want to win on the road. I'll give you an example. Russell Wilson has a great road record. Russell Wilson could constantly bail on his coach. Pete Carroll calls plays like he's Blake Bortles. Seattle's play calling against Green Bay stunk. They treat Russell Wilson like he's less than Andy Dalton. They try to configure some running game when they're on their 5th-string running back. Seattle rarely has a good offensive line. They've had to fire multiple offensive line coaches. They never, ever, it feels like to me, get it right at wide receiver or tight end. They either get guys like, Jimmy Graham too late or receivers you've never heard of. And Russell Wilson never bails on them. He supports his coaches. He supports his teammates. He supports the plays. He fights to the end on every play. You may not like Russell Wilson. Has there ever been a player that fights for every inch on every play? I mean, the kid is so... But that's why Russell Wilson's good on the road. Because on the road, you don't get the weather, you don't get the crowd, you got to fight through stuff. And Russell Wilson's a fighter. Aaron's not. Just bails on a play. Just bails on a receiver. I don't trust that guy. I don't trust this coach. I don't trust that play. That's why he's a bad road quarterback. Tony Romo was a fighter. Breeze is a fighter. Brady's a fighter. Manning's a fighter. Big Ben's a fighter. Aaron's not. Aaron likes it when it's all comfortable, and the road isn't about comfort. He's a bailer. I've worked with people like this. Road gets tough, boom, Seacrest out, exit stage right. And I think that goes a long way in explaining why he's such a bad road quarterback and why, next to Josh Allen, Green Bay, with Aaron Jones, With Aaron Rodgers? With clever Matt LaFleur? With Devontae Adams? Only Buffalo had more 3-and-outs? What? It's what happens when you have a Baylor at quarterback. Oh, you don't like him. It's not about that. I think he's a first-ballot Hall of Fame, but talent has a ceiling. Quarterback is about toughness, body language, fighting, leadership. There's a million things it's about. It's not just about, hey, this guy's got a great arm. I mean, yes, that's awesome. Jay Cutler had a great arm. I mean, Jeff George had a great arm. Aaron's better than both, obviously. But the pom-pom waivers, do we have an Aaron Rodgers bite? The pom-pom waivers out in full force today for Aaron Rodgers. So, go to your local radio station near Milwaukee to defend Aaron Rodgers. Here's Joy with the news.
No. Turn on the news. This is the Herdline News.
I was a pom-pom waiver all season.
Well, no, you were not. You weren't a pom-pom waiver for Aaron Rodgers. You weren't a pom-pom. You liked the team.
I like the team because of Aaron Rodgers.
There's nothing wrong with that, but am I wrong
look,
on
they were in the NFC Championship game. Everybody has to get some breaks along the way. I did not like that performance, obviously, yesterday, but San Francisco is a way better team, and that was obvious.
Yeah, they are.
Very early.
Yeah.
So they were never in that game. So Jason Garrett has landed a new job. The Giants have hired the former Cowboys head coach to be their offensive coordinator next season.
And, at the same time, I love playing football, and I want to continue to play and do a great job. So I'm looking forward to what's ahead. Whatever the future may bring, I'll embrace it with open arms.
That's not entirely committal to New England. It's his first time not playing an AFC title game since 2010.
Very political.
It was very... I don't think he gains anything by saying he's going to do one thing or the other, and then he changes his mind. Like, you don't want to put yourself in a corner if you're Tom Brady.
Right.
You have all the leverage in the world right now with the Patriots.
But he is making it public. He's once again making himself available for those who ask about it.
Right. He was seen talking to Mark Davis at UFC on Saturday night. I don't know if that means anything, but this is what we're going to get into because it's what we do with free agency. Every little breadcrumb matters.
But I think this is a fun story. I told you before the season, I'm done trying to predict when he's going to retire.
Right.
I think this is a fun story.
Well, it's because when would this ever happen that he would be a free agent and it's Tom Brady? Now, I don't think anyone thinks Tom Brady is what he used to be. Like, he's been playing for, 2 decades, so that's going to happen. And I don't think the market is that big for him. I do think there's some moves that could be made that would shake up the NFL quite a bit. For example, if he came to LA and played with the Chargers, not only would that be huge for that organization, because obviously they're having, some issues selling tickets and buzz and all that in Los Angeles.
Our next guest was drafted by the Chargers, who have never been big spenders, but I think as they move into the new stadium, they may have to...
Yeah, they're going to have to probably stop doing that.
Yeah, it's a bigger stage now.
It's a little different in Los Angeles. Finally, despite interest from teams looking to move up in the draft, it appears the Bengals are reportedly not making any plans to trade the first overall pick. I say this with great disappointment because obviously my hope is that Miami's going to give them whatever they want to move up. But there were some rumors that Carolina, obviously they hired Joe Brady, that they were looking to try and make a move to move up in the draft. And Miami has a ton of picks in this draft, but all signs point to Cincinnati as Burrow's landing spots this year. His dad talked about it last week, saying he would play there, and it just doesn't seem like that's going to be going. He's not going to refuse to play with the Bengals.
The Bengals have had top 3 or 4 picks so many times. God, they've just had a lot of great picks.
I mean, yeah, that's not a good thing that you're picking at the high end of the draft. Obviously, I'm not thrilled about the idea of him going to Cincinnati, not because of anything against Cincinnati. It's just they haven't shown the ability to elevate talent there.
I would trade out of that pick, get a bunch of... You got Baltimore.
You need more than Joe Burrow.
You need a lot more than Joe Burrow. If I could get 3 picks out of that, I'd do it in 1 second. And by the way, you could get another quarterback. This draft may have 60 legitimate NFL wide receivers, or 40. You can get wide receivers in the 5th, 6th round this year. You need picks. You need players.
They could potentially get a lot of them, but is it worth it if they don't have the guy at quarterback? I don't know. Like, if I'm Cincinnati, I'm probably not doing that because you do need the guy. He's just not going to be enough, and that's the issue.
Good stuff. Joy with the news.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks